Hello everyone, welcome back to FairlyDeterminedFM with me. My name is Chris. I'm back. I've been away for a bit. I had a little road trip with some friends, a guy that I haven't seen for 4 years over from New Zealand, and then a bunch of other lads, and we all went on a road trip. It was very messy. We did a festival, and that was also quite messy. And I'm just about feeling human again. So I've had a couple of days off doing any recording work. I'm just feeling sorry for myself, feeling really quite unwell, but it was all worth it. I'm back. I'm doing some things, and wouldn't you bloody know it, when I'm away on holiday, they drop possibly the biggest Football Manager news in years. Just thank you, Miles. This is an episode of the Manager's Journey. We will be going through via Leverkusen. We've got our first game with them today in the Cup. We're playing 18... the UI, we'll get to that. We've got our first game in the Cup against 1860 München, and probably not our first Bundesliga game because I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. Firstly and foremost, the old Football Manager news. So we're going to do a bit of a streamy chatty. We're going to play this first game. I'll take you through the squad, and then at the end of the episode, we're going to do a little channel chat because I had an email from YouTube the other day that I was quite interested by. But not interested. Intrigued by. So what we'll do first, I think, is we'll just take you through. I've got a day in. Well, it's tomorrow is the game against 1860 München. We'll just take you through the Leverkusen squad. I've made a couple of additions. You can see here our friendlies weren't that successful. We seem to be incapable of keeping a clean sheet, which is a bit of a concern. But I'm not. Oh, look, this fixed itself. I didn't do anything. I did not do anything. Then it just fixed itself. The squad is looking good. I think we're a little bit light. I would prefer a few more players, but we do have some sort of one youth prospect that we could bring through. Let me take you through who we brought in. Transfers in. Where is it? Transfer history. There it is. So 3 signings. Did I bring him in? I must have done because it was after Joris Chotard. Right. A couple of sales. Quite a few sales actually. So obviously you won't know any of these players, but I got some money for them. Did I get him? I didn't sell him. That was after my time. Before my time rather. Junior Adamu. I probably would have kept him. Yes, I would have. So we sold a couple of youth prospects. We got rid of a couple of youth prospects. Robert Andrik went for free to Hanover. Nathaniel Nwoso went to Real Sociedad for 425. Pascal Mandel has gone out on loan to Sandhausen. I don't know any of these players, so I don't really care. Patrick Schick. We know him from real life. He went to Shakhtar for 3.8 million, rising to 5 million. He's good. Like I think he would have scored goals in this team, but he's 33 years old. So he's getting on a bit. I wouldn't have used him really. I wouldn't have used him much. He'd have been a bench option, and I think his wage here was like 60k or something. What's going on with my hair? This way. Throw it this way. So yeah, I didn't keep hold of Schick, but we did bring in some players. So I wanted to shore up the middle of the park because I plan on playing with 3 midfielders. We'll get to the tactics in a sec. So from Freiburg for 25 million, rising to 27.5 million, Joris Chotard, a French defensive midfielder who can also play in the centre of the park, or central midfielder who can play in the defensive part of the park. But yeah, he looks really good. For 27 years old, he's still got some acceleration, still got some pace, very strong, good positioning, vision's good, so his passing's going to be decent, flair, some good passes as well. First touch, work rate, technique, tackling, all the good stuff that we look for, all in the orange. We like him. Joris Chotard, he's out for a little bit. He's going to be back. He won't be back here for the first game, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. So yeah, he's come in for 64 grand a week. Happy with that signing. Tommy Jarman, on loan from Chelsea, centre-back, who can also play at right-back and in the centre of the park, and kind of a little bit in defensive midfield. So it's just a sort of good rotational option. He's decent enough for the first team. He'll come in and get some minutes. He's nothing special. He's no superstar right now, but I think for £13,000 a week, pretty good rotational option. Welcome, Tommy. And then I signed a striker to sort of replace Patrick Schick, but also to act as our first choice striker, Giovanni, who is Brazilian. I for a second thought he was Italian. Good current star rating, good dribbling, good finishing, good first touch. Off the ball's really good. Anticipation, pace, acceleration. He's a speed merchant a little bit up top because he's got good off the ball and good movement. I'm going to be slinging, I think, low crosses into him from the wings because he's got a little bit of pace and acceleration. His off the ball movement is good. I think he'll beat a fair few defenders in this division for pace. So yeah, he's come in quite a lot on wages, £72,000 a week on wages. But he's going to be our first team striker. Our first picked striker. So some of the other good players, some of the other players that have been playing sort of well in friendlies, Valentin Funtstuk, which I love as a name. He's 22 years old, going to be an absolute superstar, I think. Really, really pacey. Again, look at the acceleration. Like he's yeah, crossing is good as well. He's got a strong right foot. So I've been playing him as an inside forward on this side, but I think what I might do is switch up to a winger on attack because he can do it, and then we're going to bung in low crosses here, so that Giovanni can get onto them. What was the other one? Julian Duranville, again, another good one. He didn't particularly play very well in the friendlies, but like you can see from the star ratings, he's a good player. He can play on the left and the right as well. He's going to be playing on the left as an inverted winger with Thump Stuck. Thump, I think, is 5, right? So 5 stuck? 5 stuck? Yeah, sure. So he's going to be playing on the right-hand side, left-hand side with Thump Stuck over on the right. Yeah. Another sort of super pacey player. Like we've got some pace. We've got some pace. The rest of the team is kind of okay. It's kind of okay for this level. I don't think we'll be pulling up any trees, which is fine because the club vision don't really want much. They just want a top half finish. So as long as I finish sort of how many in the Bundesliga? As long as I finish, what's 8 divided by 9th? As long as I finish 9th and upwards, they'll be pretty happy. Which I will also be pretty happy with. There's a sort of whiplash tour of the squad and the thing. Now we've got to talk about. Let me get my notes up. While we're going through this, we'll have a little chat about the big Football Manager news. So the Miles put out that blog post while I was on holiday, so I had no chance to write about it, but I did have a chance to write some notes down about it. First off, I think it's really, really super awesome of them to actually sort of. Not come clean and admit is the wrong phrase, but to put it out there that they knew that the FM23 wasn't their best work, really. That it wasn't as good as they were hoping it would be, and that I think that sort of honesty should be commended from them. Too often I think games companies will batten down the hatches a little bit and deny any sort of negativity, I think, about their work, but it was really good to see Miles talk about that in the press conference. In the press, it's because I'm in a press conference. It was really good to see Miles talk about that in the press release, in the blog post, and it was really good of them, I think, because we all knew that FM23 was fun. It's a Football Manager game. They're all fun. It was just a bit. I think he was right as well to call out the unfair commentary. Now, I may have been a touch unfair from time to time. I don't think I was ever mean about them, or I don't think I ever doubted the sincerity of the people working on the game. But yeah, I think there was a lot of. There still is. There is a lot. If you look at Reddit and Twitter, there's a lot of angry people expressing their anger on the internet, because that's what people on the internet do. They express anger and misery and hatred and it's just a bit. It is unnecessary, Don't be dicks to people just doing their jobs. They're doing their jobs. They're doing their jobs trying to make you a thing that you will enjoy. So don't be dicks. I agree with Miles. Don't be dicks. And he talks about FM24, which is soon. When we're in July, it's going to be out in a few months. So the big thing, and the thing that I definitely won't be using, to be honest, because I like to start a new game every single time, is the ability to transfer your saves. That is awesome. It's a really cool bit of tech, I think, and I know that a lot of people have been asking about it. You see it all the time in the, the what do you want to see from the next Football Manager game threads that are out there. You see it all the time. So I think that's really cool. But he also said that they're going to include some of the stuff that they ended up cutting from FM23. So I'm really curious to see what that stuff is. Set pieces, maybe? Did they do a bit of work on the set piece creator? Possibly, I don't know. I'm excited to see what that stuff turns out to be. Oh, look at this! Look at the lines. I've never had lines like this in my team. But then the big one, big one is the FM25 announcement being essentially an entirely new game. Is what it sounds like. They're moving to Unity. Is it Unity? Or was it Unreal? No, it's Unity. They're moving to Unity. So it's a brand new engine. They're redoing the graphics and the UI and everything else. It sounds like the biggest sort of Football Manager change in a long time. Which is really, really exciting, because we've all said the graphics need sorting. He talked about the potato-headed. I'm not going to take you through the team. You'll be right. He talked about the potato-headed regen faces. Because they moved to that using the 3D generated faces for the game as the regen faces, and they look a bit rubbish. Hasn't really kept up. He said the engine hasn't kept up. The game, they were just quite honest about it and just said that they haven't kept up with the tech. which I think we all knew, but it's nice to see that they knew that too. You know, that they weren't just sitting there going like, no, it's fine. I'm going to put this on comprehensive because I realise I'm waffling quite a lot, and it'll be nice to just have them going on in the background. We are in the red, by the way. We're in the red. I'll zoom in a little bit because we're quite far away, and here we go. Our first game as Bayer Leverkusen manager, away to 1860 München in the cup. I think they're a Bundesliga 2 team, so that's going to be interesting for us. Now, because of the new engine and the new all that sort of stuff, and it looking a little bit more fancy potentially. Obviously, that's going to be mean that machines are going to need to be a little bit heftier. So I've got my only concern about the new engine and the move, and it does need to happen. I'm aware of that, but my concern about it is, you know, the inevitable pricing out of people who may not have the tools or the hardware to run what needs to be run for this new version. They're keeping the ball very well here, so that's a little bit of a concern. You know, like I play on a potato laptop when I'm just sitting in front of the telly, but when I'm playing to record and everything, I've got a nice fancy monolith of a machine down here. So I'm not personally overly concerned, but I think people who have got lower spec laptops and things might struggle, and that's a little bit concerning because you don't want to isolate your user base. We're in. Luca Duranville, get in. First goal of the season from Julian Duranville. But then the flip side to that is that I hope they're not going to introduce like the new graphics and stuff in a way that sort of does cater for low end and high end things. You know, somewhere that's something that's in the middle. Because what do I mean by that? I think if you compromise in order to include loads of people, then you could end up not really improving it all that much, I think is what I mean. Basically what I mean is go whole hog and just add things like graphic sliders. Like they've existed for decades, you know? If people have got lower spec machines, then allow them to use their lower spec machines and just turn the sliders down. That's it. Like you don't need to compromise on anything. So it's we're in again. Duranville, cross it, square it. Oh yeah, left it too late. Duranville, Sadiki, Juregi. I'm just getting to know everyone's names at the moment. Sadiki, Luca takes a shot. Funkstuck doesn't get to it. Corner. I think that's what I mean. Giovanni, no. Giovanni's quite short. I shouldn't have the ball heading towards him on the corners. Luca. Hinchapi? Who the hell is Hinchapi? Hinchapi. Luca, another corner. He did also mention games as a service in there, which is a bigger concern, I think, than the potential for having like people losing out because they haven't got a good graphics card. Games as a service, I don't like. Why would you? You know, I back in my day, when I was younger, you bought a game, it came on a cartridge, and it was the game. It was the whole damn thing. You know, I don't like and I don't play games where you have to get a bloody battle pass or a season pass or whatever else to get the full thing to get the full content of the thing you've already paid for. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's a terrible business model. I think it harms the industry. And if Football Manager does go that way for FM25, I will not be playing it. I will stick with FM24. So there you go, there's a little sneak peek for the future of the channel. If they do any sort of nonsensy games as a service, pay $2.99 to unlock Scotland type nonsense, they will not be getting my money. They just won't. I don't think they will, because I think they're smarter than that, and I think they recognise that there's a lot of antipathy towards that in the industry and in the community. I'm just going to make sure that I'm using antipathy right. Antipathy definition. Two sec. A deep-seated feeling of aversion. Yes. Antipathy. So yeah, I hope they don't do that. However, if they were to put, say, certain bits of additional optional content behind behind a season pass or a pay thing, then that, I think, would be quite interesting, right? So, hear me out. Football Manager is a Football Manager game. You play as the Football Manager, but we've seen on YouTube, I think Clates has done a really, really good save, and the Manager's Seat as well have done a tutorial on how to do this. But Director of Football saves, which I've been tempted by, but honestly, it feels like a little bit of work, and I can't be bothered. But if SI were to introduce, say, they're in, good tackle, excellent. Yeah, if SI were to introduce like a Director of Football mode but putting it behind a $9.99 DLC thing to unlock, then that, I think, I would probably buy. So I don't mind that. I don't mind paying for additional bits of content, but the core content of the game that you pay your $49.99 for or whatever it is has to be there on day one. Anything else, I think, is a ripoff. So that's a little bit concerning. But overall, it's quite exciting. They've also got women's football coming in, which they announced like 2-3 years ago, I think, and it's finally coming in. I think I read on the blog post they wanted to get it in maybe for FM23, but it's possibly one of the things that ended up on the cutting room floor because of time constraints and pandemic and all that sort of stuff. I think it's really exciting. If it's a separate game mode, like win, Gluck, no, corner. Yeah, what am I trying to say? If it's a separate game mode, I don't know if I'll play much of it. However, if it's an additional league, so like, you know, you load up your leagues at the start of the game, England, Scotland, Spain, France, Germany. If it's a league in that, so you add women's leagues, then I'll definitely add them in, because then you can just switch from men's football to women's football at will. But I don't know if I would play a mode that is just women's football on its own without the option to move back and forth, you know. But I think it's super exciting. Candelaria, would I? Durhamville, oh, nearly 2. Tell a lie, I would probably do that for a stream save. I would probably have a stream save that's just women's football. But I really hope they do it in such a way that you can move back and forth, you know, between women's football and men's football, because I think that'd be really cool, you know. We saw like Phil Neville did it. He was managing a women's team, and he's now over in he was with the women's England team, wasn't he? Phil Neville, I think. Giovanni. Is it Giovanni or Giovanni? Sorry, I'm doing a lot of rambling this episode, so we're only 38 minutes into the game as well. Yeah, so I would definitely play that if it's, you know, the ability to go back and forth between clubs. I think that was really cool. So that was sort of, I think, all the things I wanted to talk about with the FM23 4.5 announcement. It was very exciting, and also I think just generally seeing that sort of stuff come out of the company, out of SI, I would like to see more of Luca with a long range shot. I'd like to see more of that, because there's been, I think I talked about it in the 5 things for FM23 video that I did way back when in FM22. Is Durhamville picked up an injury? You son of a Tielemans on the left. Can't believe they've injured him. If he's out for a while, it's going to be really sodding annoying. Would you ref? Look at that 2-footed lunge. That's a red, surely. Jesus. What was I saying? Yeah, I mentioned it in the FM23 5 things I want to see video, that we don't get any like insight really beyond the tweets that Miles sends out, and then the new feature videos and all that sort of stuff. We don't really get an insight into behind the scenes stuff at the company, unless you're one of the lucky ones who gets invited to the cool things at the offices. Thanks, my invite, Miles, that must have gotten lost in the post. Yeah, we don't really get to see much. So this blog post, which sort of laid bare their concerns and frustrations with FM23, everything that's coming up, not just FM24, well, not everything, but some stuff that's coming up in not just in FM24, but also in FM25, 2 versions away. It's really good. It's a really positive thing, and I would love to see more of that. I would love to see more. I'm not happy with the performance out there. I've been half watching it while I've been talking to you. I would love to see more of that. I would love to see more insights from them into the game and into how it's produced and how it's made and what's going on at the studio. It's really cool. I like that. I like, games on Steam, what was it? Project Zomboid. I play a lot of Project Zomboid. They're constantly putting out dev diaries and updates and all sorts all the time, and I really like reading them. I personally find it really interesting. So if we're going to see more of this from Miles, I think that's a really cool thing. I think that's all I had to talk about, like game-wise. But then I did want to talk about the channel a little bit, right? The channel, this thing. Remind me when it gets to like 60 minutes to make some subs. FM23 has, I've mentioned it before, it hasn't been my favourite version of the game, and I have found it, while I enjoy sitting down to record, like I'm loving sitting down and just chatting. Javane, get in, come on. What a goal that is. Is it offside? Ball game. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done it, and I love sitting down to record and just chat and talk shite for 20 odd minutes or how long I've been recording for. This might be a little long episode, this one. But the actual like sitting down to play FM23, I haven't enjoyed as much. So the channels suffered a little bit, I think, this year. I was going great guns for FM22. I got hit 500, I think, in the first year. This year I've grabbed another 150, 160 more. I think I'm sitting on 658 or something at the moment. So it's kind of the growth of the channel's kind of stagnated a little bit, and I think part of that is because it's because my scheduling has been so poor. I go like a week or two where I get 3 episodes out, so YouTube can sort of file me away in the algorithm and start suggesting me to people, and then I take 2-3 weeks off, months off. I think I had a couple of months off, didn't I, over Christmas and January for various reasons. So I think I've played a part in, not my downfall, but I've played a part in not sort of in stunting my own growth a little bit this year. So it's been a little bit frustrating. So FM23, this cycle hasn't been great for me, I think, as a creator. It hasn't been great for me as a channel owner. And I don't think it's been great for Football Manager as a game series, really. So it's just been a bit of a weird one, FM23. I'm hoping to get back on track with FM24. Tealman's in. Go on. Oh, off the post. It's come off Funfsuk's shin. Is that going to count, or is that going to get knocked out? Ruled out as well. Yes, come on. It's in. It's in. It only bloody counts. Only bloody counts. So, let's talk about the future. Future is... It's the stupidest goal you'll ever see. The future is I want to get back to 3 episodes a week, minimum, with a stream save as well, 2 nights a week. So essentially what I want is 5 days a week, some form of Football Manager content on the channel or on Twitch, maybe YouTube streaming. I haven't decided yet. I've seen FM Llama's moved over to Twitch and he seems to be quite enjoying it. Basically, if he enjoys it, I'm probably going to enjoy it. So I might be moving over, maybe having a look at Twitch at some... Are we going to get a third here? No. So the future of the channel... Sorry, this is really rambly. I haven't prepared this bit. I haven't made any notes. It's just what's coming out of my brain as it comes out of my brain. 3 episodes a week minimum, 2 nights streaming. So you get 5 days a week of FairlyDeterminedFM Football Manager content. That's the goal. I want to vary up the content. Tealman's in. It's got to be 3. Oh, great save. Great save. I want to vary up the content. I love the manager's journey. I'm going to keep doing the manager's journey. It's fun. I always end up at different clubs. It's good. I enjoy it. So don't worry about that. But I do want to do more of those rebuilds and like 1 season saves, potentially turning those into longer season saves if I do well at the club, but knowing me, but I won't be doing well at any of the clubs. So I want to vary up the content a little bit. What are we on, 60 minutes? I need to make some subs. You didn't remind me. We'll wait for this highlight to play out. João Neves. Funfsuk. Shot. Good save. Yeah, so I want to vary up the content a little bit, do some more streaming, and try and get back on track, because I do want to hit 1,000. I do want to hit 1,000. And I want to hit 1,000 because it's a number I never thought I could even get close to when I started doing this. I didn't for a second think I'd even get like to 100, if I'm honest. So having like nearly 700 of you is fantastic. Ricardo Pino. I don't have Jarman on. We'll have Jarman on, shall we? I mentioned earlier that I got an email from YouTube, and I didn't expect this, but apparently I can now add channel members to the channel. So channel members are, I think it's kind of like a Patreon thing where you set up like subscription tiers, and for that subscription tier the creator gives you additional stuff. Now I'm not going to do that right now because frankly I don't have the time to do anything additional, and I don't know what I would offer anyway. Plus, times are bloody tight. Nobody's got any money. Certainly nobody's got any money to spare, I don't think. And if they do, they're not spending it on a bloody beardy Football Manager man, for sure. Also, I've got a job. I've got a pretty good career that pays me. I don't need to do that. So that's where I'm sort of going. So basically what I'm trying to say is, once I get to 1,000, I'm not going to monetize the channel. I'm not really interested in monetizing the channel. I don't need it to supplement my income or anything like that. It's just unnecessary, like all the ads and things. I hate the adverts, by the way. If you're seeing adverts on the channel now, I have not put them there. I have no control over adverts on this channel. The only reason I would potentially look at monetizing the channel is so that I can have more control over the adverts and put less of them on there. Because, bloody hell, trying to watch YouTube sometimes without an ad block is fucking horrendous with the amount of adverts you see. So, first, yeah, if you're seeing ads, if you're getting served ads during my videos, I apologise. It's not me doing it. YouTube's doing it. I see none of it, so whatever. So I would potentially look at monetizing the channel, only so that I can dictate when and where ads go. I think you can put them at the start, middle, and end, and I would probably just say right at the end. I don't want people trying to watch my videos and then getting served a sodding advert. I just don't want it. I don't like it. So that's kind of where the future's going. If I hit 1,000, and I hope I do, because it'll be a really cool thing for me to hit 1,000. I might look at doing that. At some point, I might look at doing like a really, 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 really cheap subscription tier, like £1. Clear it, candelier it, good. It was offside. Like £1 a month, you know, so that if people want to support me, they can support me. But I don't, you know, I like to say I've got a good career. This is a hobby. I do this for fun. I don't do it to earn money. I don't do it to. I mean, I'd love to go full time with it. Editing full time would be a dream, but you know, I don't know if that's ever going to be real. I've gone a little bit deep here. I didn't mean to get deep. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm trying to get back to 3 episodes a week, bit of streaming, and I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of this game's almost over. I've basically exhausted everything I wanted to say. We're 2-0 up, and everything's good in the world, I think. I'm going to be trying to get back to the 3 episodes a week, starting bloody now, because I need to get. It's just a habit I need to get into. I think what I can do is do stuff like this, where it's 8 o'clock in the morning now. I've got an hour before I start work, and I'm recording this episode. So this will be Monday's episode that you're watching it on. So my plan will be to record sort of an hour, like in the mornings for an hour, 3 days a week, edit it all together on Saturday, and get it uploaded and ready to go on the Sunday, so that week's episodes are already set and done. And then all I need really is 3 hours a week, 3 hours during the week, a couple of hours at the weekend to get everything done. There's 5-6 hours work to get 3 episodes out a week. I can do that. I just need to get into the habit of doing that, and I'm terrible at forming habits. So we'll see, but that's the plan. That is the plan. We've dominated that game. I didn't talk about it at all, but I think we played pretty well. 2-0, first clean sheet. Let's have a look to see how badly Duranville is injured. Well done, good win. How bad's the injury? It is sweltering in this office, by the way. Jesus. Sweaty boy. I'm a sweaty, sweaty boy. Doesn't help that I'm drinking tea. Duranville, how long do we reckon? Couple of months? 3 to 6 weeks. That's not bad. 3 to 6 weeks, not bad. Right. So, to recap, FM24, exciting. FM25, exciting. FM23, not that great. Kind of hurt my channel. But that's not all FM23's fault, that's also my fault. Want to get back to being a better content creator. I want to be putting out more stuff, more varied stuff. Oh yeah, the reason why I want to do more varied stuff, I didn't really talk about that. 1 is because it's fun, and 2, at this stage of the release cycle, where are we, July? Nobody's tuning in, I don't think, unless they're tuning in and watching it from the very beginning. Nobody's tuning in to episode 76 or whatever this is of a long-running Manager's Journey series. Nobody. So, trying to catch like a spider, trying to catch those new flies with new content. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, and that's kind of where we are. I've been recording for 35 minutes. I don't know how much of this I can actually cut. We'll see. Well, you'll see. So this might end up being one of those like 25-minute long episodes that people watch 2.5 minutes of. But I know some of you watch them all the way through, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you anyway, even if you just watch it for 30 seconds. I've done that. I've gone onto it. It happened. You'd click on a video, you think, well, this looks interesting. And the guy starts talking, or girl starts talking, and you go, oh my God, no. I've done that. I've done that loads. All sorts of videos. So if you're one of those people, don't worry, don't take it personally. I'm just not for you. That's fine. What am I talking about? Right. Heat in this room's getting to me. Thank you so much for watching the episode. Pointing at the camera. So blurry. Thank you for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed sort of a streamy chatty where I just rambled on and probably said a lot of contradictory and conflicting information. Call me out in the comments if I did, because I can't remember. It's all just a bit of a stream of consciousness thing, but the intent was there. So the good intent was there. What do I say now? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, do all the things, do all the engagement things, and I'll see you back here for another episode. We will be playing Stuttgart and Schalke in the next one. All the best. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Bye.